Hello students, welcome to the English class again. We have already started with the explanation of the chapter Indigo from Flamingo, and we have seen in my last two video explanation also I have told you that how Gandhiji had come to Champaran in order to listen to the poor Indian farmers, right? I hope you have gone through the last two video lectures and the PPT video also and have understood till how much I have taught. You have also must have gone through the chapter, okay, and understood that what was the reason that Gandhiji had come to Champaran. So in this video lecture also I will be continuing with the explanation. So let's start. In my last video explanation I have completed till he would disobey the order. In this video lecture, I will start from in consequence, Gandhi received a summon to appear in court the next day, right? Let's recapitulate what happened in the last few lines. We have seen that at the persuasion of Rajkumar Shukla, Gandhi arrived at Champaran and he came to know, of course with the help of some of the eminent Indian lawyers, that what kind of problem the Indian farmers were facing, right? That how the English landlords, they were torturing the Indian farmers about that 15% of indigo cultivation, how after knowing that synthetic indigo is available in the market produced by Germans, still they were asking for compensation in the form of money from the Indian farmers, isn't it? Now here we are going to see now that how Gandhi he disobeyed the rule. That is, when he went to this British commissioner, he was instructed to leave Tirhut division and he did not listen to him. He was even bullied by the this landlords association, the secretariat of the landlords association. He didn't listen to him, and one day when he was about to visit one nearby village where one of the Indian farmer was very badly maltreated, right? He was in the middle of the way only he was taken back to his own headquarters and he was served a notice from the court that he should immediately leave Champaran. And what did Gandhi do? He disobeyed the order. He signed receipt but he disobeyed the order. Now let's start from here. Now in consequence, what happened was that Gandhi, since he disobeyed the order from the court, he was automatically, that's very natural, he was summoned to appear in the court the next day. Because if you don't listen to the court notice or a court order, then you have to be you will be arrested. That is very much natural, okay? So this Gandhiji was also taken to the court the next day. All night Gandhi remained awake. He telegraphed Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar with influential friends. He sent instructions to the ashram. He wired a full report to the viceroy. So the entire night Gandhi could not sleep well, okay? He gave a telegraph to Rajendra Prasad that with all the eminent lawyers, they should immediately come from Bihar to this place, okay? He also sent an instruction to the ashram that what action they should take, okay? And not only that, he he wired a full report. Wired means he telegraphed. He gave a telegraph of the full report, whatever was going on in Champaran, to the viceroy. Okay, who is the viceroy? Viceroy, as previously they were known as Governor General of India, the main head of Indian, that is the British government in India, who was what we can say, acting under the British Queen, okay, the British royal. He was the main in charge of taking the entire administrative affairs of British India, okay? So he sent the entire details about the event to the viceroy. Morning found the town of Motihari black with peasants, and next morning when Gandhi was about to be taken to the court, it was seen that the entire Motihari was filled with peasants all around, means nearby Motihari and all the village, the nearby rural areas and the villages, all the farmers and the peasants, they have come to Motihari court, okay, just to stand by the side of that person who stood by them, right? Okay, they did not know Gandhi's record in South Africa. They had merely heard that a Mahatma who wanted to help them was in trouble with the authorities. Their spontaneous demonstration in thousands around the courthouse was the beginning of their liberation from fear of the British. So they did not know who this Mahatma was. What he had done in South Africa, they had no idea. Okay, but they only knew that this was the person who had come for them. Okay, who had stood by them. Their own people had not stood by them, but this person had come from somewhere else and is standing by them, fighting for their justice, fighting for their right. So it was high time that they should also be by the side of their champion. Okay, so their spontaneous demonstration in thousands around the courthouse was the beginning of their liberation from fear of the British. So that is very much important, liberation from fear of the British. That was what Gandhi actually wanted, that the Indian peasants should show. Fear means liberation, freedom from fear, isn't it? That is what in a few lines ago also we have said. Gandhi told the lawyers that the first thing that the peasants need to be freed of is from their fear, right? Okay. The officials felt powerless without Gandhi's cooperation. He helped them regulate the crowd. He was polite and friendly. He was giving them concrete proof that their might, hitherto dreaded and unquestioned, could be challenged by Indians. So the English officials, they were now quite frightened. They were threatened that what would happen? So many farmers, so many Indians, they have gathered in the courthouse. You all must be knowing about the courthouse system or the courthouse proceeding. Okay, what exactly happens is that in a court there will be a main judge, there will be two lawyers, there will be some jury members, the witness and the victim. Okay, and there will be one or two family members or whoever get permission to be inside that courtroom to see or hear the trial. Okay, now what happens, there are limited seats. Okay, these are the only seats that the people could sit, right? Now what happened is that regarding the case of Gandhiji, here many farmers, many Indians, they have come to the courthouse. Okay, now they were not allowed to get inside the courthouse because so many people cannot be inside, but outside the courthouse there were like throngs of people gathered around. Okay, I have provided you all with a video clip of Gandhi. If you have seen that very nicely, then you must have seen that how many number of people have gathered outside the courthouse and all were waiting that what would be the proceeding, what statement would the British judge give against Gandhi. Okay, now so many people around, the British people, they were really very much frightened because they did not think that actually the British people also had no idea about the what we can say about the charisma of Gandhi. Okay, like who this Gandhi is. He had never done anything in India before. Okay, this is the first time that Gandhi was doing something, so they had no idea of this Gandhi. Okay, now they have also quite become numbed to see that so many Indian farmers would have come to the courthouse to just listen to the hearing. Means like before this, never such kind of thing had happened in Motihari, in a small place like Champaran or this Tirhut division. Okay, so they were so very much what we can say puzzled, and they were so very much perplexed that they requested Gandhi to handle the situation. And Gandhi, in a very polite and friendly manner, he handled the situation. He told the people to be quiet, and also he warned the British officials that if any wrong decision or any wrong judgment is being done, then there is going to be a rebellion. Okay, and that had really frightened the British law court. Okay, right. The government was baffled. That is what the thing has happened. Baffled. What is the meaning of baffled? Confused. Okay, the government was completely confused that what is going on. The government was baffled. The prosecutor requested the judge to postpone the trial. So the government, they were completely confused. Now what to do? Okay, they thought that they will have Gandhi all alone. They will just put some kind of wrong charges upon him, and then they will let Gandhi to be imprisoned for many years, and the thing will be somewhere subdued, because this is the way how usually the things went on in the British administration. Okay, but this thing would happen, they were completely unknown. Means they never thought that this kind of thing would happen, right? Now the prosecutor, he requested the judge to postpone the trial. Okay, that not today but any other day if the trial could be conducted. Apparently the authorities wished to consult their superiors. So the authorities also wanted to because you see, when a court case is being put up in a court, then it is very much necessary that that day only, not the entire proceeding, but little bit of the trial should be conducted. Okay, that is very much necessary, because that requires the judgment towards the time. You are being loyal to the time, and you are doing justice to the time. Okay, now here what happened, when this prosecutor and the judges, they were thinking of postponing the trial, what did Gandhi do? Gandhi protested against the delay. Gandhi said that no, today there is a trial, so today something has to be done. Okay, he read a statement pleading guilty, so he immediately took out a statement where he said that yes, I am guilty, because according to the law he is guilty, isn't it? He is surrendering. He was served a court notice and he refused to obey the court notice, so of course he is saying that yes, I had refused, so I am guilty. He was involved, he told the court, in a conflict of duties. On the one hand, not to set a bad example as a lawbreaker, on the other hand, to render the humanitarian and national service for which he had come. So he was involved in the conflict of duties. Now what is the conflict of duties? Means there were two duties that he had to perform. Okay, number one duty, which one was number one duty? On the one hand, that means number one was not to set a bad example as a lawbreaker, that he did not obey the law, that he broke the law. He didn't want to do that. He is not a lawbreaker. Being a lawyer himself, being a man who is serving the law himself, he does not want to become a lawbreaker. Okay, but number two, what is more important, was to render the humanitarian and national service for which he had come. Humanitarian service, national service. Okay, that yes, I have come in this place to help the Indian farmers. That was my main motive, and that is what he needs to perform, he needs to complete, right? He disregarded the order to leave, not for want of respect for lawful authority, but in obedience to the higher law of our being, the voice of conscience. So why he had disobeyed the law? Not just because he wanted some kind of respect from the British authority. He doesn't require that, but he actually want to have a say. Okay, he wanted to say something to the British, to his own conscience, that yes, why I have come to Champaran, not just to pass my time, or just to say the Champaran people that yes, I am there to help you, and when the court will say that go away, and then I am saying you tata bye bye and I am going away. Not, that is not his role. He have to answer not to the law, to this human being, but he had to answer himself only, that what have I done, right? Okay, he asks the penalty due. So he asks the penalty due. Penalty due means he asks for the punishment, that whatever be the punishment, give me the punishment, because I have broken your law. The magistrate announced that he would pronounce sentence after a 2-hour recess, and asked Gandhi to furnish bail for those 120 minutes. Gandhi refused. So the judge said, the magistrate said that okay, we are going to pronounce the sentence, but 2 hours, there is a 2 hours break. Okay, recess break. So after 2 hours he is going to give the sentence. Now for this 2 hours Gandhi can take the bail. Now here actually the British wanted to play a trick. What exactly the motive was? British wanted that all these people, these Indian farmers, should immediately leave. Okay, if the Indian farmers and the crowd, if they become lessen, okay, all these people should move away and Gandhi would remain all alone, then it would be very much easier for them to grab Gandhi and put him under some wrong charges and immediately imprison him. Okay, but with all these people, these lawyers and photographers and reporters and Indian farmers and thousands of people gathering over there, okay, it became quite a difficult task for them to announce anything, to give any kind of wrong pronouncement of the thing, because that would immediately be reported around the country and a bad impression will come upon them. Okay, and they didn't want to do that. They wanted to show that they are very much just fool and they are giving justice and all this thing. So they wanted that Gandhi should take a bail for this 2 hours. If Gandhi takes a bail, now you all know what a bail is, isn't it? Everyone knows what is a bail, isn't it? What is a bail? Bail means, like we say in Hindi, as zamanat. Okay, bail means like you are a prisoner. Okay, you have been imprisoned for something. For those who doesn't know about the bail or the system of bail, I am telling for them. Suppose a victim, okay, or say a prisoner, okay, a criminal, let's say a criminal who has been convicted of a crime, okay. Now this criminal, he is being arrested and he is being taken to the jail, okay, and his case is being going on in the court. Now what happens, his family members thinks that okay, since he is in the his case is being taken in the court, until and unless he is being proven guilty, okay, that he is being given any sentence, let him go to the court or let him attend the court case from his house, okay. And for that reason bails are available in the Indian law court, okay, not only in India but around the world, everywhere bail is available. Now what is bail? Means you are signing in a paper that yes, I am guilty of this crime, so I want to stay at home and attend the court case. I am not going to leave the station, I will be in the station, and whenever the court will ask me, I have to come here, but I will not be in the jail, I will be in the house, and for this reason I am paying this amount of money, okay. And according to the crime, the money, the rates are being decided, okay. Now here Gandhi was also told that why don't he take a bail for this 120 minutes, that means 2 hours. Gandhi says that he does not want the bail. What did he say? He said Gandhi refused, the judge released him without bail. So Gandhi said that I don't want bail. Actually, why should he need the bail? For 2 hours bail is not required. 2 hours he can easily stand there and wait that when these British officials will be over with their recess break, and then to give the order, he will wait for 2 hours. Gandhi had made a very diplomatic decision over here. He was quite diplomatic over here. Why he did not want to take the bail? Because he also understood that what the British intention was. The intention of the British was that once this bail is being done, then what will happen? All the Indian farmers, they will think that Gandhi is released and they will disperse away from there, and then Gandhi will be all alone, and that will be a kind of victory for the Britishers. Gandhi didn't want that. Gandhi wanted to use the strength of the Indian farmers to win this case. Right, so he was also quite tactfully he had handled the entire situation. So when the British found that Gandhi is not taking the bail, so they say that okay, so you are released without the bail. When the court reconvened means after 2 hours, when the court again started. Reconvened means to restart, okay. When the court again restarted after 2 hours, what happened? The judge said he would not deliver the judgment for several days. So judge could not come to any kind of decision because of so much crowd, okay. So he said that he cannot give the judgment for several days. So meanwhile Gandhi is allowed to remain at liberty. So Gandhi was allowed to go, okay. He was freed away because they could not pronounce any kind of statement against Gandhi, right. Rajendra Prasad, Brij Kishore Babu, Maulana Mazharul Haq and several other prominent lawyers had arrived from Bihar. They conferred with Gandhi. What would they do if he was sentenced to prison? Gandhi asked. Why? The senior lawyer replied. They had come to advise and help him. If he went to jail, there would be nobody to advise and they would go home. Now all these people, Rajendra Prasad, Brij Kishore Babu, Maulana Mazharul Haq, these are some of the eminent lawyers, and many other eminent and prominent lawyers, they had come after the court case when Gandhi returned back to his headquarters. And Gandhi at one point of time asked them that if suppose Gandhi is imprisoned, because the case is still in the court. Gandhi had been freed for that moment, but the case is still going on in the court, isn't it? It's a pending case. So Gandhi asks that suppose the court arrests Gandhi, then what are these lawyers going to do? Now one of the senior lawyer, okay, he told that one of the senior, here it is said senior lawyer, he replied that they have come here to advise Gandhi, to make Gandhi acquainted about the entire situation. If Gandhi only gets arrested and remains in the jail, then what can they do? Because there won't be any leader. So they will be going back to their home. There is no way out. What could they do? Then Gandhi asked one thing, what about the injustice to the sharecroppers? Gandhi demanded. So Gandhi asked that, okay, you all will go home. Then what about the sharecroppers? I am in the jail, you are at home. What about the sharecroppers? What will happen? Because we have come here for a kind of reason that they wanted to help out the sharecroppers. If that thing is only not established or achieved, then what is the reason of going to jail or going back to home? The lawyers withdrew to consult. Rajendra Prasad had recorded the upshot of their consultation. So the lawyers, they didn't know what to say. Okay, and then Rajendra Prasad, in his later on in one of his writing, he had told that what exactly came out as a conclusion of this entire meeting. He said they thought amongst themselves. Who are they here? They here means the lawyers, who told that they will go home if they are not being if they are not being if Gandhi is being arrested, then they are going to go home, right? So these are the, what we can say, these are the lawyers. Okay, so they thought amongst themselves that Gandhi was totally a stranger, and yet he was prepared to go to prison for the sake of the peasants. If they, on the other hand, being not only residents of the adjoining districts but also those who claim to have served these peasants, should go home, it would be shameful desertion. What happened actually? Now, Rajendra Prasad later on wrote that these lawyers, they thought amongst themselves only, they thought that Gandhi, who is a stranger, who is not from Bihar, who is not from Champaran, he has come from somewhere else of India, some other parts of India, and has come here for this Indian peasant, for the peasants of the Bihar, for the farmers of the Bihar, and is ready to go to jail for their sake. Then these people, these lawyers who are actually from Bihar and who must have served this peasant at one point in their life, they will go home. It is a kind of shameful act in the part of them, isn't it? So these lawyers told that, so they consulted amongst themselves and they said that they cannot go home. Okay, that would be a complete shameful desertion. Okay, shameful desertion means what? To show back to them. Okay, to leave the case, that will be a completely shameful act, right? They accordingly went back to Gandhi and told him they were ready to follow him into jail. The battle of Champaran is won, he exclaimed. Then he took a piece of paper and divided the group into pairs and put down the order in which each pair was to court arrest. Okay, so what happened then? This Gandhi told that the battle of Champaran is won. Okay, because now the lawyers have united. Till now what happened? The lawyers were doing helping the poor peasant only in exchange of money, isn't it? They used to take their case to the court and in return they used to demand some fee. Okay, so they did not attach themselves to these Indian farmers as a countrymen. They were only continuing with their own profession as a lawyer. But now when these lawyers have also united and is understanding the condition of the peasants and is realizing that yes, it is high time now that they should also stand by the side of the peasant, that Gandhi had opened their eyes. Gandhi have told that the Champaran battle is won, because now peasants are united, they have liberated themselves from the fear of the British landlords, and these lawyers are also united. Then what happened? He took a piece of paper and he allowed these lawyers to be in pair. Okay, he grouped the lawyers into pairs and told them that each day everyone will go as court arrest. Means what? If Gandhi is being arrested and taken to the jail, then only 2 lawyers every day will go to the court and tell them that they also want to be court arrested. They also want to be with Gandhi. Okay, just because they are Gandhi's follower, right? Now this is a way of, this is what we can say is a means of Gandhi's policy. We say Gandhian policy or Gandhian philosophy. You see, Gandhi if arrested, okay, and if these lawyers also go and then they also demand like we also want to be court arrested, what will it show in return? They are not using any violent means. Okay, in a very peaceful and in a non-violent manner, they are creating a pressure upon the British government, and eventually they will be forced to let Gandhi free. Okay, and they will be forced to do something for the Indian farmers, right? Several days later, Gandhi received a written communication from the magistrate informing him that the lieutenant governor of the province had ordered the case to be dropped. Civil disobedience had triumphed, the first time in modern India. So many days later, Gandhi got a written communication from the magistrate that the lieutenant governor of the province, of the entire Bihar province, had issued an order that the case has to be dropped. Okay, so Gandhi was completely free now. Now, no case is also there against him. So, what does this mean? Gandhi says civil disobedience had triumphed the first time in modern India. So, the first civil disobedience movement, we can say, a kind of civil disobedience movement, because here Gandhi had disobeyed an administrative order. So, of course, it is the first civil disobedience movement, and that had really, what happened? Triumphed, was quite successful, right? I hope students you have understood till this much. We have done till modern India, and in my next video lecture we will start from Gandhi and the lawyers now proceeded. Okay, so whatever I have explained in my in all these videos, please listen to it carefully, and if there is any doubt, as I tell you every other video lecture, clarify it from me in the classroom. Okay, and please study well, go through the chapter thoroughly, okay, because questions in the boards will come from inside the chapter, so you need to know the chapter very nicely, right? Okay, then stay well, students. Thank you.